Jallikattu is an Indian film, and it is directed by Lijo Pellissery. Set in a remote village in the Indian countryside, a buffalo that is being kept to be butchered by the local butcher escapes and is kind of running havoc through the village. So the villagers organize a hunt to try and capture the buffalo, and that hunt turns into a nightmarish descent into insanity. Jallikattu is one of the most intense audiovisual assaults I've ever experienced in a theater. Something that I probably haven't felt since watching George Miller's Mad Max's Fury Road. And actually those two films are a good point of comparison because much like Miller's action masterpiece, the film is also essentially one long continuous action set piece in the form of a chase. From the very first second, Jallikattu is not messing around. It opens with a barrage of percussive noises and high-pitched screams over the top of very fast, almost abstract cuts. Culminating in an insane, absolute nightmare of a finale that has some of the most striking imagery I've seen in a very long time and was reminiscent of something that maybe Francisco de Goya could have painted. In many respects, I think that I got out of this what many people get from watching Gaspar Noé's films, in particular something like Climax, maybe also the second half of Darren Aronofsky's Mother, which I obviously didn't respond to at all. And although I find Noé's films obnoxious, I can totally see someone drawing the parallels in terms of the sheer build-up and anxiety and insanity, and I can completely understand someone coming out of this film begging for it to stop. Now, in terms of what the film is trying to say, I don't have much knowledge of Indian cinema nor of Indian culture. I understand that India is an amalgamation of just tons of different cultures and languages and people, and we in the West tend to see mostly Bollywood films, but of course I know that there's Tamil cinema and there's just a multitude of cinemas. In this specific case, I'm not sure exactly where it's from and what it is, and so if there are some culturally specific things that I cannot understand or that maybe a lot of us in the West don't understand, I would love it if anybody from that part of India can maybe say, oh, you know, in terms of meaning or in terms of what this is about, here are my thoughts on it. But in terms of what I got out of it, the film felt like a very anti-meat, pro-vegetarianism sort of message. Certainly, I felt meat was made to look extremely unappetizing throughout the course of the film. Even the way it's handled, maybe this is just this white boy from the West saying this, but everything was horrifically unsanitary and just people were manipulating carcasses and just wiping the blood on their shirts and not washing their hands. And when they were preparing the food, it didn't look good at all. Everybody was absolutely obsessed with finding and eating this buffalo to the point of falling into this tremendous savagery, a savagery that is then in the last sequence of the film, which I'm not going to spoil, but then offers a sort of parallel, a historical parallel to what's going on today, which I felt reinforced the idea that eating meat, meat is murder, basically, if you want to quote the Smiths, but that it's some sort of barbaric, primitive way of consuming food. The film's actually played several film festivals, and it may continue to do so, so if you can see it in your area, I would highly recommend it. It is an assault of a cinematic experience, but what an experience it is. It's unlike something I've lived through in a long time. And in that sense, it was just a tremendous surprise, really, because I had no idea what I was getting into. And wow, am I completely enthralled with what I saw on screen. And I'm really, really curious to see what this director has done before, because if it's anything like this, it is goddamn insane. So as always, thanks very much for watching the video. Please be sure to hit the like button if you like the review, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, see ya.